Well, let me get back to this argument that we keep hearing over and over again, that the left is unelectable. Okay, and in this case, it's coming from a guy who just lost his incumbency. This is outgoing Senator Joe Donnelly with a warning to his party. And, well, let's listen to it first before I recharacterize what he's saying.
Your party, about the Democratic Party. You lost in Indiana in November. McCaskill, we just talked about, lost in Missouri. Heidi Heitkamp lost in North Dakota. The Democratic Party was already receding to the coasts, even more so now. So can the Democratic Party, your party, be viable without appealing to the interior of the country where you live and where you represent?
Boy, I don't know how you do that. I mean, I was fortunate enough. I got more votes in this midterm than any Democrat in Indiana in modern history. But it wasn't quite enough because the president came 3 times in about the last week, 6 times in about the last month and a half, and said, this is about him. And he said, if you don't vote, basically, you're betraying me. And we have not made enough of a connection. I work like a dog nonstop to make that connection, but that the people of my state understand that culturally, we want to make sure you succeed, that we're going to fight to make sure that, for instance, on student loans, we'll keep the interest rate at the same rate as a housing loan. But when you talk Medicare-for-All, like I heard on the panel earlier, you start losing the people in my state. When we start talking about, hey, we're going to work together with the insurance companies to lower premiums, that's what connects. And so...
So wait a second.
All right, this guy definitely would lose to Trump.
Hold on. Right. So Joe Donnelly would have us believe that what the constituents of Indiana want to hear is not that you're going to get low, like really low, if not no cost insurance that you're not going to have to deal with. What his constituents want is that you're going to work together with the insurance companies.
Don't you remember those Trump speeches right before the election?
Of course.
I'll tell you what, folks.
I'm going to work with the insurance people. Now,
and if you went to college, not going to be more than a home loan.
No.
Am I right? Am I right? Are we excited?
We love our loans.
We love our housing loans.
Love our housing loans. Here is a Kaiser Family Foundation poll, which states that over 50% of the people of Indiana, and apparently Joe Donnelly didn't have this poll, support Medicare-for-All. You can see if you go in there, we will zoom in to Indiana. Get in there. There we go, right there. Now, that's a beautiful turquoise color, and if we go down to the key, we can see that turquoise is over 50%. Probably around 52, 53%. But it's not just that. First of all, this notion that he got the most votes of any Democrat state. Well, he's the incumbent. He was the incumbent for 6 years. And I will tell you that he really didn't do much better. There was another woman, Liz Watson. She ran for a House seat in the 9th District. Now, she lost by 13 points to an incumbent. She lost by 13 points to the incumbent, but she ran on Medicare-for-All. Donnelly lost by only 6 points, but then he lost by another 4 points to, there was another 4 points from a Libertarian, which would have gone to the Republican, presumably, if they were not in the race. And there you're at basically 10 points. As the incumbent, he loses.
Sir, I'm underemployed and drowning in college debt, and I'd like to vote for a Democrat, but I'm just a little alienated by this talk of relieving my student debt. If you could just match it with a home loan, which of course I'll never be able to afford, I feel a lot more comfortable. That would connect with me.
It's all well and good that you're going to provide for me a basically no headache, no cost health insurance. But what I would rather see is you to sit down and actually come to a tete-a-tete situation with some big insurance corporation.
You said free health care at point of delivery, but where's the dialogue with Humana? See how that connects with me, man.
What we have just witnessed is Joe Donnelly's, if not, this is one of his calling cards that he's going to, he's going to take that interview and he's going to take the link and it's going to be attached to his resume as he applies for lobbying positions in some massive law firm in Washington, D.C. on health insurance.
That's
he
exactly
is literally going to sell himself as being the guy who is going to go to these 3 senators. I can't think of who they are off the top of my head, but there's 3 or 4 of them that he is going to tell that partner of the law firm, I can get you that one, and that one. And those are the guys I will work on in the Senate to prevent Medicare for all in the event that, the one thing that Joe Donnelly wants more than anything is a Democratic takeover of the Senate so that he can get that lobbying job and stop Medicare for all.
And I just want to say,
and Claire McCaskill, same exact deal.
Same exact deal. And Dick Gephardt, who you mentioned earlier, there's audio from him from last year that I think Lee Fang dug up at some meeting, and he was like, "We're never going to let single payer pass, period." And he's sort of like the prime former Democratic leadership influence peddler in Washington right now for everything, not just healthcare, also even like not recognizing the Armenian genocide. And one of the great things, if you start to change the makeup of the Democratic House and in the future the Senate, is that these people won't be employable.
Exactly.
Because there'll be no use. There's no social capital.